Greetings to all and welcome to the session 5 of Unit 2 Lathe and Operations for the subject Machine Tool Technology. Course code is 15ME43T. Myself Muhammad Imran, lecturer in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Government Polytechnic, Karwar. So in the today's session, we are discussing the following content: lathe accessories, all about lathe accessories. So the lathe accessories, as we discussed in the last class, is used for holding the workpiece, or it may be also used for holding the tool for specific use. So we cannot hold all the workpieces to the live center or dead center. So some of the application, some of the workpiece requires complicated setup. So for holding that kind of workpieces and a specific purpose works, we are using all these accessories. What are those accessories? You can see that are centers. So that we have already discussed in the last class: live center, dead center, pipe centers, tipped center, frictionless center, pipe, half centers, etc. So in today's class, we are discussing check face plate. So you can see check, these are checks, and these are the centers here. So today we are discussing about checks. So check is a special type of clamps used to hold the workpiece. So it is a special type of clamp used to hold the workpiece. So check is mounted on the spindle which rotates with the headstock. So check is mounted on the headstock side, which is mounted on the spindle of the headstock. As the spindle rotates, the chuck also rotates. So there are different types of chucks. We will study one by one. That is a 3 jaw chuck, 4 jaw chuck, collect chuck, spindle chuck, magnetic chuck, combination chuck, and ear operated chucks. So 3 jaw chuck, you can see in the figure why it is called 3 jaw, because it is having a 3 jaws here. You can see 3 jaws. So the 3 jaws are fitted in the slots made to slide at the same time by an equal amount by rotating the one of the 3 pinions of the chuck. You can see here this 3 jaw chuck is having 3 jaws at an angle 120 degree each. The angle between 2 jaws is 120 degrees, so that 360 divided by 3 jaws is 120. So one angle between these jaws are 120 degrees. There are a slot here. There are 3 slots. Upon that slot, these jaws will move forward or backward by an equal amount. So all the 3 jaws will move by an equal amount. If you rotate one of the scroll disc here, it is having 3 scroll discs. If you rotate any one of the scroll discs with a chuck key, all the 3 jaws will move by an equal amount. That arrangement will be made inside this chuck. That's why it is called as universal chuck. Universal means all jaws are made to slides by an equal amount by rotating any one of the scrolls using this chuck key, suitable for holding a regular workpiece. It may be cylindrical or it may be hexagonal. So it is used for holding cylindrical and hexagonal shaped workpieces. So chuck is suitable for holding round, hexagonal and other similar shaped workpiece. In 3 jaw chuck, the jaws are centered automatically. No need to set up here, because it is all the jaws will move equally. There is no need of setup of jaws by using dial gauge. So all the workpieces will be centered automatically, and but it has a less gripping capacity. The gripping capacity is less. The inner surface is used for holding, the outer surface, inner surface is used for holding small workpieces, whereas you have outer jaws here that is used for holding a larger diameter workpiece by shifting this reversing this jaws, we can hold the larger diameter workpiece. It is used for holding a circular or hexagonal type of workpiece. So the workpieces are centered automatically. No need to set up here, make a setup for centering. So it will center automatically, but it has a less gripping surfaces, because it is having only 3 jaws. the gripping capacity is very less, so it is cannot be used for a larger diameter workpiece. So in recharge jug, the job is centered automatically and quickly it will be centered, but it has a less gripping capacity as only 3 jaws are used and centering accuracy is soon lost due to wear. The centering accuracy will lost because of the wear. So it is not preferred for larger workpiece because it is not having a proper gripping surface, and it is centers also its centering setup is also changes if the jaws is worn out. So since we cannot make a manual setup here, so it will take automatic centering here. So once the centering will changes because of here, there will be a eccentric turning happens. So that is the limitation of this kind of chuck. So we can use it for a small jobs. Next is 4-jaw chuck. You can see here it is having 4 jaws at an angle 360 divided by 4, that is 60 degree to each other. We are having 4 jaws at an angle of 90 degree each. So 360 divided by 4 is 90. So the 4 jaws are made to slides in the slot. 4 slots are made at an angle 90 degree to each other. So here all the jaws are moved independently. It is not moved it is not moved simultaneously as compared to 4-jaw chuck. That's why it is called as 4-jaw independent chuck. Why it is independent? Because all the jaws are moved independently, not by simultaneously. That's why it is called as independent chuck, 4-jaw independent chuck. The particular jaw may be moved according to the shape of the work. So the particular jaw, if it is used, it can be used for any complicated shape of the workpiece. It is not cannot be only be used for cylindrical or maybe hexagon. It can be also used for holding a square shaped or irregular shaped, so that we can move the each jaw according to the shape of the workpiece. We can move the each jaw independently. Each jaw is made up of tough steel, has a 3 inner and 4 outer gripping surface. 3 inner and 4 outer gripping surface. You can see 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 outer gripping surfaces. The outer gripping surfaces is used for holding larger sizes of the workpiece by reversing the jaw. So in order to hold the larger sizes of the workpiece, you have to reverse this jaw so that it is possible to hold the larger diameter of the workpiece. Reversing the jaw, to reverse the jaw in order to hold the larger diameter of the workpiece. So each jaws will be moved independently in order to adjust the shape of the workpiece. So it requires more time to set the work aligned with the lathe axis. So here the centering will not be done automatically because of each joint will be moved independently. You have to make a setup. You have to set up the centering of the workpiece with the lathe axis by using dial gauge and all, because you have to move the each jaw independently and to make a center by manually by using a dial gauge. Next, we'll study about the difference between the 3-jaw and 4-jaw chuck. In the 3-jaw chuck, the jaws on the 3-jaw chuck move at an equal time. That means all the jaws will be moved by equal time. When you rotate one of the small disc, all the 3 jaws will move at an equal time. Whereas on 4-jaw chuck, the jaws are moved separately, that is independently. If you want to move the particular jaw, then you have to rotate the small disc of the particular jaw. The depth of cut is relatively less in case of 3-jaw chuck. As the gripping surface is having only 3-jaw chuck, we cannot give more depth of cut in case of 3-jaw chuck. In 4-jaw chuck, higher depth of cut can be produced because it is having 4 jaws. The gripping capacity is higher. 3-jaw chuck has one hole for a chuck key to tighten or loosen the jaw grip. 4-jaw chuck has 4 holes, 4 separate holes for 4 jaws. In 3-jaw chuck, the workpieces cannot be set for eccentric turning. So in eccentric turning, the components having irregular shape you cannot hold the irregular shape in the 3-jaw chuck, whereas in 4-jaw chuck you can hold any type of irregular shapes in the 4-jaw chuck. In 3-jaw chuck, centering accuracy is lower. So in 4-jaw chuck, since we have to make the centering by manually, the centering accuracy is higher because we can make our own centering with the highest accuracy. Combination chuck, as the name itself tells that it is a combination chuck. It is a combination of 3-jaw universal chuck and the 4-jaw independent chuck. It is used for both self-centering and independent chuck to take the advantages of both types. It will take the advantages of both the types. So 3-jaw chucks are operated individually by separate screws. The 3 jaws are operated. The jaws are operated individually by separate jaws, separate screws. So if you want to arrange the each jaw separately, then you have to arrange it by a separate holes here, like a 4-jaw independent chuck. The frame has a teeth cut on its underside, which meshes with the scroll disc, and the 3 jaws, all the jaws together with the screws, moves radially when the scroll made to rotate by a pinion. So if you want to move the each jaw separately, there will be option for separate 4 holes are there. So if you want to move all the 4 jaws equally simultaneously, just like the 3-jaw universal chuck, then there is a scroll disc here. If you move the scroll disc, all the 4 jaws will be moved simultaneously, just like the 3-jaw independent. So it has the advantages of both 4-jaw independent chuck and the 3-jaw self-centering chuck. How? Because if you can move all the 4 jaws independently, and also at the same time, if you want to move all the if you want to move the jaws separately, then there is a hole for moving each jaw. So if you want to move all the jaws by simultaneously, then there is a scroll disc, one scroll disc. To move that scroll disc, all the 4 jaws will be moved simultaneously. So next is the magnetic chuck. So here the magnetic chuck, permanent magnets are this chuck is used for holding very thin workpieces. So this magnetic chuck is used for holding very thin thickness material, which cannot be held in other types of chuck, maybe 3-jaw independent chuck or 4-jaw independent chuck. We cannot hold a very thin workpieces. If you hold that part, that component workpieces in that chuck, it will destroy. It will distortion of the workpiece may happen. To avoid that, we are using a magnetic chuck to hold the very thin kind of workpieces, very thin workpieces made of magnetic metal. The only thing is that you cannot machine all kind of materials in magnetic chuck. You can machine, you can hold the workpiece which is having magnetic properties. Only the things which are components which are having magnetic material, just like iron, steel, copper. So iron, steel, only ferrous metal. Ferrous, the components which is ferrous alloys, it can be held in this kind of chuck. It is having the magnetic material, which cannot be held in the ordinary chuck. It is also used where any distortion of workpiece due to pressure of the jaws is undesirable. So due to pressure of the jaws, what will do, it will press the workpiece, so that may destroy or disturb the workpieces. If it is very thin, the strength, because of the jaw strength, there will be a distortion of the workpiece happens. So here there is no jaws here, just it will held the workpiece by the magnetic force. Here the workpiece is held by the magnetic flux provided, a magnetic force generated inside the chuck. So it is used for holding the very thin workpieces which cannot be held in a normal chuck, or the holding of this workpiece may distortion of the workpiece happens due to the high pressure and pressure of the jaws will happens in other kind of chucks. Then we are using the magnetic chuck. The holding power of the chuck is obtained by magnetic flux. The holding power of the chuck is obtained by magnetic flux, either from the electromagnets or from the permanent magnets. We can use electromagnets or permanent magnets within this chuck that will hold the workpiece. When you turn on, that magnetic force is created. That magnetic force will attract the workpiece, which is also having the magnetic property. As I told you, we cannot machine the components which are not magnets, which are not having magnetic properties. So, in on position, the flux passes through the workpiece. When you turn on this chuck, the magnetic flux is passes through the workpiece and grips it. And magnetic flux passes through the workpiece and grips the work surface on the chuck. In off position, the magnets are set aside, bringing them in contact with the high permeable keepers, which short circuit the flux and prevent them from passing through the workpiece. There are some keepers inside this chuck. When you turn off this chuck, what will happen? The magnetic flux is passes through the keepers. So then short circuit the flux that is passing through the workpiece, and it will disengage or it will remove the workpiece from the this chuck. There will be no magnetic force generated. Then automatically we can remove the workpiece from this chuck when during the off position. During the off position, is the keepers are used that will attract the magnetic force from the this chuck, and it will not allow the magnetic flux passing through the workpiece. Then we can disengage the workpiece from the this chuck. Next is cullet chucks. Cullet chucks are used for holding bar stock in production work where quick setting and accurate centering is needed. So the cullet chucks are used when there is a quick centering and accurate centering is required. It is a costlier one. The cullet chuck is costlier one. When you are needing a high accuracy for centering and also quick centering is required. If you do it in other kind of chucks, the setting up requires more time. So we can hold the normal components in 3-jar chuck, which makes the centers automatically. But if you are having a complicated chuck, then you have to use a 4-jar chuck or this magnetic chucks you need to use. In case of that, we require more time for setting or centering of the workpiece. So if you avoid in order to save the setting of or centering time, so we can use cullet chuck, which will hold the workpiece quickly, and the centering also made very quickly and at a very accurately. The holding power of the chuck is obtained by magnetic flux. So next is face plate. So face plate, you can see here, it is also inserted instead of the chuck here. So it is a circular plate. You can see it is a circular plate having a T slot along the circumference of this plate. It is fitted to the it is center with a plain center. It is threaded and its center. It is plate threaded at center with a plain and T slots. So we can see here it is having a hole here which is threaded one. So this threaded hole is fitted into the spindle of the headstock, which is having the thread. So this thread is fitted into the this threaded hole is fitted into the thread provided in the tailstock of the headstock. Spindle of the headstock, which is having a thread also. This threaded hole is fitted into the spindle of the headstock. It is having a T slot around the circumference, you can see here, and the plain and T slots. You can see here plain slots and the T slots. These slots are used for bolting the irregular shaped components. If you want, you cannot, if the shapes is very complicated one, which we cannot hold in the normal chucks, so then you are using a face plate. So you having a T slot here, you can bolt any complicated shapes of workpiece on this T slot. So it is having a threaded hole. You can see here, this threaded hole is fitted into the thread provided on the headstock spindle. The job on the workpiece, it is held by the face plate. It is fitted into the lace spindle with the center threaded portion. The job on the workpiece is held by faceplate using bolts and clamps. Using bolts and clamps, the workpieces will be fitted into the faceplate, and as it is fitted into the spindle of the headstock, it will rotate and the tool will be passed through this workpiece. The faceplate is suitable to hold both regular and irregular shaped workpiece, which cannot be held conveniently by chucks or on other centers. So the space plates are used where it is difficult where it is difficult to hold the workpiece in a case of chucks or in case of center. If the components which cannot be held in chucks or it may be in centers, so that kind of workpieces are held in face plate because it is having a bolt. You can having a slot here. We can bolt any kind of irregular shape of workpiece we can place here, and we can bolt them so that we can machine the required dimension. So thank you. So before going to finish this session, we are just watching how these magnetic checks are used here. We have one small video. This is a magnetic check you can see here. This is the component. It is turning on. This is setting of the job. Setting of the job. Continuing. Oh, thank you. Thank you for watching this session. We'll come up with the next session in the next class. Thank you.